The numbers in our housing market are ever changing, so it's so important to stay on top of those changes. With Market Insights, we bring you the stats, facts, and figures to keep you and your clients informed. Join us now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Scott Kiburz with Market Insights for Landmark Title for June of 2024. We have a lot to cover today, ladies and gentlemen. Let's begin. Our agenda today is we're going to look at the national headlines, some local and statewide numbers, along with some significant activity that's happening in our marketplace. Let's begin, of course, with fast facts from Maricopa County only. Active listings continue to rise slightly to 13,998. Single-family homes crested 10,195. Townhomes at 1,082. Condos at 1,074. And manufactured homes at 793. Ladies and gentlemen, that's just up ever so slightly. The townhomes, condos, manufactured homes are within 20 to 50 homes of where they were last month. Closed transactions were up significantly for the month of May, cresting over 6,000, in fact, 6,089. Our absorption rate climbed to 41.35%, coming soon on the decline slightly at 465. Interest rates did take a slight downturn. Some people are fortunate to be getting some high sixes right now. And our average sales price for the month of May 2024 for ARMLS in Maricopa County, $600,248. Ladies and gentlemen, just some key things that are happening in our marketplace. From a national standpoint, from a Phoenix Business Journal standpoint, Phoenix is ranked #1 in manufacturing growth for the last 5 years, up 11%. Just some real interesting facts. When you look at the millions of square feet that have been built, where they're comparing the square footage for storage and industrial space, Arizona is doing phenomenal. And this article talks about there's 42 million square feet in the pipeline. So we have a long range of growth still happening in our metro. This is a quick picture of the Taiwanese plant in North Phoenix. And what's interesting about this article is the land surrounding that area went up for auction, 2,300 acres, and it sold to a New York firm for $56 million. More importantly, the bid opened and closed in 5 minutes for $56 million to control the surrounding thousands of acres around the Taiwanese manufacturing plant. Jobs in the northwest side. Please know this, that Peoria is looking at a new regional airport, and they plan to have over 8,000 jobs come into that market. They're spending $150 million on aviation, and they know that it will create $1 billion of economic impact when it's all done. Ladies and gentlemen, another interesting article about the less fortunate in terms of homeless and needing shelter, and that technically it's in the decline slightly, and that is something that as a community we need to work at. And currently it is running just under 10,000 people that are without housing currently in our metro. Another big project happening on the west side near the Cardinal Stadium is the largest hotel with the largest swimming pool in the state in Glendale. It's a $1 billion project. Stay cool, have fun in the water with some outdoor park. And that is getting closer and closer to being completed near State Farm Stadium. Since COVID, ladies and gentlemen, this set of slides coming up next is going to be around the National Associations of Realtors update from Mr. Yen. What's happening here with this particular slide is looking at gains in payroll by various states. Obviously, the darker the blue, the better. Arizona is almost at the top at over 9% change in jobs since the pandemic happened between the years 2020 and 2024, with only Texas and Florida and Utah, Idaho being in front of that, Las Vegas. But we've done well, ladies and gentlemen. Home price appreciation since COVID, 60%. Ladies and gentlemen, there's only a couple states higher than us. We've enjoyed a big growth in our home values since the COVID pandemic began. This next slide, ladies and gentlemen, is for people talking with buyers and sellers looking at renting versus owning. This is a staggering slide for me talking about in 2019, if you were a renter and just had a home to rent, an apartment to rent, the average net worth of that individual would be about $7,300 versus somebody who owned a home in 2019, $295,500. Ladies and gentlemen, just jump ahead 3 hard years. That grew to $10,400 if you're a renter, and it skyrocketed by over $100,000 net worth in 3 years for those people owning a home to $396,200. Great slide. This is at the national level, ladies and gentlemen. Why would home buyers use the same agent again if they could, and would they recommend them to others? Ladies and gentlemen, there was a time when that was in the 80%. Currently, it's at 75%. Say definitely would. 15% say they probably would. That gets you all the way to 90%. And so what we're saying in that situation here is the fortune is in the follow-up. When you're working with clients, please stay in touch with them. It was an important decision in their lives to help buy and sell. There's a lot of trust many times, and 75 to 90% of the time, they would definitely or probably use you again if you just stay in touch. Price cuts, days on market. Ladies and gentlemen, when you look at the national stage, there was a time for 10, 15 years where Arizona was a low-cost alternative to other more high-cost states, California and others, as an affordable place to live or a second place to home, place for a second home. We've moved into an elite status in terms of home cost, and with the average sale price being over $600,000 now, that's significant for the first-time buyer and the move-up buyer. And I share this slide with everybody, especially on the buy side and the sell side of the transaction, that, ladies and gentlemen, please don't miss the market price of the home when you're putting a home up for a listing. That if you miss it, the chance of cutting the home price significantly once you get to 90 and 100 and 120 days becomes significant in the total sale price of the home. Pay attention to that and do everybody a favor, get a home priced at market. The forecast for 2024 and 2025 is, we think the National Association of Realtors feels that we're going to have about 5 million transactions for the year 2024, north of high 4s and into 5 million in 2025. Would that number grow much more significant? It would if we had interest rates back in the 4% range. Our market would go crazy locally here in Arizona. But that's what we're forecasting: late 2024, 4.5 million and 5 million in 2025. We had, in terms of home sales, nationally, one of the worst years since 1995 and 2023. And that's just sheer total volume, that there really is a need for another 1 million homes, 1.5 million homes to be built in our United States to satisfy the housing true demand. Due to interest rates and other factors, total units sold was at one of the all-time lows for north of 10 years. And this graph does a great job illustrating that. Ladies and gentlemen, the next couple of slides are from the Cronf report, and what it's ranking is the top 40 primary and secondary cities and looking at the price of change. So I have the full 40 on the left-hand graph. You'd have to zoom in on that to see who was ranked first and who was ranked last. Number 40 is Coolidge. But I took the top 10, blew it up, and put it on the right-hand side to point out Paradise Valley is up 13%, Scottsdale's up 5%, Rio Verde climbed by 1%, Cave Creek by 5%. And this is looking at the last year was looking at the cost per square foot, and it's comparing the change from this year to last year. Paradise Valley has, even though it's already a very affluent market, has continued to press forward. I got to believe the Ritz-Carlton that's hopefully coming to a close and being completed by December of this year, that has an impact on that as well. The other thing that I like about this particular slide here from Cronf Report, this is on Phoenix, and this is just looking at the last year, active listings, UCB, etc. And what I want to point out to you in the middle of the graph, ladies and gentlemen, is appreciation on an annual basis at 6.6%. I ran this report on the 30th of this month, 5/30, and we're up 6.6% appreciation median for Phoenix, Arizona. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the normal average is 2% per year over the last 190, 200 years, according to the Case-Shiller report. To have, even in these trying times, a lot of things happening, we still had a 6% increase in home values in Maricopa County. The National Association of Realtors. This came out from Katie Johnson, this particular next 2 pages. And there's a new link called facts.realtor. And this first thing from Katie Johnson, the number 2 at NAR, talks about the guide on writing buyer agreements. And this is going to go into effect on August 17th. And what I want to point out to you, ladies and gentlemen, is the hard link, facts.realtor. Go there and you're going to find this exact information. Part 2 of this is on the materials that they're going to add to this to help have discussion points with buyers and sellers to empower everybody on this link looking as a realtor to help communicate that with the community and provide safe knowledge exchange and a great experience for your clients. And this is coming from Miss Katie Johnson. Also from NAR, this is a little bit about the settlement for the big case lawsuit out of Missouri. And this has some information about, again, from facts.realtor and the settlement parts, the buyer agreements, and the settlement timeline. This is not written in stone. It's already moved once in terms of the timeline. I got to believe our local AAR team of Scott Drucker and others, and a lot of some very smart people are working hard to create new buyer advisory docs, buyer agreement docs, and also at the same time, NAR is working on that at the national level. Interesting sad point or noting point here. This is coming from realestatenews.com, Stefan Swanepoel's organization. And every agent who is a realtor on this call has free access to this at realestatenews.com. There's a free membership. Just going through ARMLS and get your credentials put in, and you'll have this exact information source free to your computer screen. But it's interesting that Bright MLS out of Baltimore is offering expanded concessions field, that they're gonna say some kind of concessions is open and be a part of their solution. Then also what's important to note is Northwest MLS out of the Seattle area is not going to accept the coverage of NAR and the settlement. They're going to do that on their own. This is a big MLS, 35,000. It would be just a little bit smaller than Arizona Regional MLS, but they have opted out of the settlement, and they felt that there's just too much confusion, and that by having compensation in the MLS, that itself will provide less confusion than having every deal negotiated. A couple more quick details. I'll jump through these next few slides pretty quickly. Here's an update on CoStar CEO. And what they've done since the last time I reported to you, ladies and gentlemen, is they've acquired Matterport for just about $1.5 billion. And Matterport, of course, is a big recording video of homes. And we all know that pictures and video do a great job of selling the home. And they acquired that company. They spent $1+ billion to do that and provide information to the consumer. And then another data point, this is coming out from realestatenews.com on the VA, and that they're going to allow VA homebuyers to pay their agents, at least for now. Now, when this legislation came out and the DOJ had this hard mandate that no, the buyer agent cannot have any money coming from the sellers. Sorry, the buyer cannot have any compensation coming from the sellers to the buyer agent. They were pretty strong about that, and they've acquiesced, at least for the time being, on that. And this article here talks about that. So change is coming. Whatever pendulum swing we're enduring has swung hard to the left, and is resettling, not to center, but is resettling here as we go. If there's anything I can share with you, ladies and gentlemen, is remain ready to pivot, or at least partial pivot as we move forward. Just some quick humor for you, ladies and gentlemen. In the center left of the screen is Camelback Mountain, and this is an aerial view of Scottsdale, Arizona in 1956. That blank land right at the bottom of the screen is part of Scottsdale, where the Scottsdale Osborne Hospital doesn't even exist yet. Here's downtown Phoenix about that same time with Camelback in the background. And here's a modern day version skyline of Phoenix, Arizona, ladies and gentlemen. My, have we changed in the last 50, 60 years. Looking at some quick math for where we are right now, ladies and gentlemen. When we were at our very lowest inventory in Maricopa County, we averaged 26 listings per zip code of the 153 zip codes. Right now, as we tip up to 13,998, we're averaging 91.49 listings per zip code. That's up about 6 doors per zip code since last month. As we look into active pending sold, this is a strike point on the first. So we had 13,516 active. Solds at 55.89 and under contract 65.69. What I want to pay closer attention to on this particular graph is the bottom left in blue and red. The median and average sale price is just under 90, 98, 99%, excuse me. And that's been a mirror image for over the last 2 years. If you can look really hard to the price per square foot last 24 months, for the month of May, we did have an ever so slight downturn in the average and median sale price per dollar of homes, just a couple dollars down from where we were this time last month. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not necessarily significant. It is a little bit seasonal. This is a little bit lower cost per square foot sale price of the year for us due to seasonality, summer, etc. When we look at month supply, we're at 2.42 months with an absorption rate of 41.35, and that month of supply is up just ever so slight to 2.4 from 2.1, I believe, earlier in April. Let's start to dive into some numbers here as we make the turn and head for home, ladies and gentlemen. What I want to point out is several key things. So this infographic 5-circle dot report, it's called Rapid Stats from ARMLS. It focuses on active listings sold, median, month supply, median days. When you follow the top left blue, active listings are up 57.7% from where we were last month. And as we slide that white line from the top over to the right, and you see active listings written out at 16,101 in May of 2023 at 10,208. That's where we were this time a year ago. And this is Maricopa County and Pinal County combined. I want to be very specific about that. This is the one slide I do where it's all joint from the MLS. Now, that is just those 2 counties, ladies and gentlemen. There's another 11%, give or take, of listings in our MLS. On top of this, it'll bring us into the high 17, approaching 18,000 total listings. And those aren't even in Maricopa or Pinal County. Those could be in the White Mountains, in Sedona, Flag. They could be in Mexico, Utah. I've seen them all over. But about 11% of the total listings when you open up the MLS as a realtor, about 10 to 11% are not even in Maricopa nor Pinal County. This tool, ladies and gentlemen, is going to become free to all the realtors effective July 1 of next month, a month from now, once you've renewed your annual dues. When you renew your annual dues for the mid-year 2025, this tool, Rapid Stats, that I use religiously, will become available to everybody. And we'll look to do some training and education on that in the future. What I want to point out to you with this slide really is the blue and the yellow active listings, and in the yellow median sale price per square foot. So our total active listings are up 57%, and our median sale price is up 4.5% to 262.94. That is both Maricopa and Pinal County aggregated together. What I did here in this next slide is split those 2 counties out just to see the difference. So Maricopa County's listings are up 60%. And their home price is up 4.3% to 272, while Pinell County is up 46%, and their price per square foot is up only 0.2 of 1% at 201. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a gap of $70 per square foot difference between Maricopa County average and Pinell County average. I want to highlight that out. And also what I want to point out to you, ladies and gentlemen, is when we ran this report last month, we were at 6.6% appreciation in Maricopa County. That has dipped down to 4.3. So that is north of 2% from where we were this time a month ago. The back end numbers, this is for Maricopa County only. New listings are at 7,611. When you look right under the word new listing, you're going to see that's an increase of 2.1% in the last month. It's up 8.2% in the last 3 months. It's up 33% the last 6 months and up 25.86% in the last 12 months. So listings are coming to the market. Our active listings are at 13,516. Under contract is at 6,569. So in the last 30 days, that's down from where we were at this time last month, but it's up 3% from the last 3 months, and it's up 48% from where we were just 6 months ago. Sold listings, 5,589. That's up 0.07%. It's up 23% from where we were 3 months ago. I'd like to point out in the circle graph in the center, normal sales, 87%. That's getting to almost a record high. We have new builds coming in Maricopa County at 6.3% and fix and flip homes at 5.8%. All other transactions are at 0.97 of 1%. This is a little bit newer slide, and this is why I'm excited to get this tool in the hands of everybody that's listening today. This is in addition to what they normally would have per city, per zip code. It's a great graph. So new listings and active listings. New listings coming into Maricopa in the last 24 months. They have come down ever so slightly. If you go far right in the month of May, they're coming in what looks like 312, 315 with a median sale price just about 282, 285. And the median has been pretty much a horizontal glide across, but the average is just a slight downturn from 310, 315 down to 308, give or take. There is a downturn in new listings price per square foot in the last 24 months. The active listings as well, ladies and gentlemen, if you look hard on the far right-hand side, the green bar vertical going up and down is the number of active listings. The black line coming across the top of the bottom half graph, if you notice how that's dipped from 340 to 330 in the last 30 days, that is what's happening in all of Maricopa County aggregated together. What I want to point out to you, ladies and gentlemen, that is a slight downturn. That has not been a constant climb. There's other parts of the United States that are definitely in decline in housing. And so if this is a beginning or if this is just a quick seasonality yet to be finalized, but I want people to be cautioned. And I certainly encourage anybody who's getting ready to list a home, if they're saying, hey, yeah, I want to go 3, 5, 10% over market in my listing, the market is trending slightly down, not slightly up. Under contract, ladies and gentlemen, note here in the top half of the two graphs in black, we're at about 320 average and about 278, 275 median. Again, that slight trend down for solds is just south of 300 now and just probably in the 272, 275 range for the sold median sale price. This bottom graph is what's closed essentially for the last 30 days. Ladies and gentlemen, that trended down slightly. You witnessed that in our average appreciation going from 6.6 down to 4.2%. Here we go, coming soon. Coming soon listings. We go to the very bottom two lines, average dollar per square foot, median and average. Go to the 30-day window and it's showing 336.72. And the median the last 30 days, 294.54. What's happening currently is prices are about $6 to $7 less at 329 current on the average, and on the median 296, up just to not even $1.50, $1.46. So I just want you to be aware of that, ladies and gentlemen. There is a little bit of a trend down in the black line for the start of the month of June. Here we go with the active listings. Again, Maricopa County, and I want to look at the numbers first. Go to the 30-day metric, average dollar per square foot, $341.37, median $286.23. Here again, ladies and gentlemen, we're confirming that the trend is currently down from the last 30 days. Currently, it's at $334.57, average, median $284.52. Both those numbers are down. And when you look at the two lines, the black and the red, sweeping from left to right, you're going to see the median sale price has dipped from north of 340 down to the 334 range. Be highly aware of that, ladies and gentlemen, both as a buyer agent and as a listing agent. Some key graphs here, ladies and gentlemen, looking at active listings. We're at 13,516. That has been a steady climb upward. We're not that far off from where we were May a year ago. We were at 8437, and when we go all the way back to May of 2022, we were at 7,072. Our inventory has climbed. We're getting used to playing in this space of higher interest rates. There has been an impact that essentially nationally, 1/3 of all homes sold nationally have been new home sales. And sometimes those builders can offer their own incentive with interest rates. We have had some inventory start to climb just a wee bit. Also, this is a seasonal peak. We normally do see just a slight downturn in the month of May, but our under contract was at 7019 for the month of April, and at the beginning of May, we were at 6569 as we move into June of 2024. Closed listings, we leveled off essentially almost 2 months in a row at a mirror image in May. If everything holds true at the current run rate, we will see a slight dip of closed units come the end of June of this year. New listings has been pretty consistent between 8,500 and 9,000 for the last 5 months, and it's been a slight climb upward, not massively aggressive. What I wanted to point out, and I included these graphs, I don't normally include these, ladies and gentlemen, but they do tell part of a story that's important that everybody knows. Our canceled listings for the month of May did jump another 113 doors. That just means that people were on the market. They either had a change where they decided not to sell, or their house was getting ready to expire and they canceled for whatever reason. 1,500 doors is a little bit higher than normal, just slightly higher. Also, expired listings, not significant, but from 440 to 509, certainly on the climb. We always know that December is the highest month of cancel listings. The two spikes you see at 1441 and 791, those two big spikes are essentially December 31st. A lot of people put their listing in until the end of the year. But as you look at a trend starting in January, February, March, April, the number of expires has been climbing just ever so slightly upward versus downward. Last but not least, temporary off the market, same mirror image. It's on a slight increase, that maybe some people didn't sell their home the first time they had it listed. They decided to take it off the market, and due to a job or a remodel or something. But there's some caution coming to our market. Sold and months of supply absorption rate. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had low sales compared to what we're capable of doing. So that's what the graph on the top and the dial on the right is showing us. We've had low sales in the 10% range of what we're capable of doing. And our demand has been more of a buyer's market from a seasonality standpoint than a seller's market. And then also when you look at the bottom left graph, month supply absorption rate, and you're looking at the blue line absorption rate and the supply, that keeps bopping. The absorption rate is bopping below 50%, and the supply is running in the 2.5–3% range. Not crazy, but it is noteworthy to share. We are more in a buyer's market based on our seasonality and increase in our number of listings. Now, as we push for home, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stop at just a couple key cities, but for those in different parts of our community in the primary and secondary cities, For instance, this is Apache Junction. This is all alphabetized. You can fire through this slide deck and stop at whatever city you need to. But Apache Junction active listings are up 102%, and home values are up 4.7%. And this is the graph that backs that up. Please know that new builds make up a significant part of Apache Junction at almost 10%. As we get to Avondale, their active listings are up 86%, and their median sell price just 2.3%. And here's the numbers to back that up. Again, about 9.4% new builds. Anywhere we have open land and can build, people are out there getting houses constructed. Buckeye, for instance, ladies and gentlemen, active listings are up 40%, median sell price 6.8, on the higher side compared to others. And Buckeye is here with 21% new builds. There's plenty of room to create things in Buckeye. A lot of open land and water's coming, and it's in growth mode for sure. It has 5-7% of the community built out. Carefree is up 13% in listings, 5.1% in median sell price. Note, ladies and gentlemen, that's at $402 a square foot. This becomes a lower cost per square foot option to Scottsdale and Paradise Valley, and has had nice steady growth for a period of time. Here are the numbers to back that. And then Cave Creek, very similar. Active listings are up 103%. Prices are up 2.3% at $341. So low cost alternative to the North Central North Phoenix marketplace. Chandler, holy cow, is there so much happening there with this is a picture of the new Intel plant and things that are in construction there. The whole Southeast Valley seems to be vibrating at a different frequency. The Mesa Gateway Airport going crazy. Home prices here, median sale price are up 3.1%. And the total number of homes new build really doesn't even show up on Chandler. Chandler is quickly approaching landlocked status like Tempe, but it is a very desirable place to live. Fountain Hills up 62% in active listings, up 6.2% in median sale price. It too is becoming a very affordable alternative to Scottsdale, and great lifestyle for a lot of retirees. Gilbert, Arizona, up 9.6 median sale price. Active listings are up 73% at $296.70. Boy, the downtown, the shopping, the dining, it is a Scottsdale 50 years ago. They've done a great job with that community. Glendale, highlighting here the big water park that's coming. Median sale price is only up 1.7%. Active listings are up 116%. They currently have about 5.2% new builds, and flips at 11%, pretty significant. Gold Canyon, a little bit more seasonal by comparison. Active listings are up 63%. Its median sale price $269.88. And they have a significant build out with new builds in that market. So that's how you read the rest of these graphs, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this has been helpful for everybody that follows this call and these types of market numbers. I want to say thank you as always to Landmark Title. They always do a great job. And when you need something from their team, I know they're standing ready to serve. As always, Sarah, it's been great chatting with you this morning. I'm going to sign off as soon as we get to the last couple slides here, from Rio Verde on out to the T's of Tonopah and Tollefson. And until next month, wishing everybody a very powerful and purposeful marketplace. Good day.
Thank you for watching. Join us every month on Market Insights to be the realtor in the know.